Happy Friday, friends. I hope you guys are having the best Friday. It's beautiful outside, so I hope you get to be outside today. We miss you like crazy and wish we could wrap our arms around you in a great big hug. Anyway, since it's almost lunchtime, why don't we start with our Superman prayer? Maybe if you're getting ready for lunch, you can do it too. We thank you, God, for giving us food. We thank you, God, for giving us friends. For the food we eat and the friends we meet. Thank you, God. Amen. All right, so we're wrapping up the letter O. And look, in this book, there's two O's right in the middle. It makes the sound ooh when you have two O's like that. So let's see what Little Miss Whoops is up to today. These are my favorite. Little Miss Whoops is one of those people who has accidents all the time. She has lots of little accidents, like when she's trying to make lunch and drops the eggs. Whoops! And she has big accidents, like when she painted her bedroom and tripped over the paint can. Whoops! Every morning when she makes her cup of tea, she spills the milk, tips over the sugar bowl, drops the tea bag, breaks the biscuits, knocks her cup of tea across the table, and has to start all over again. Whoops! Some days it can take hours before she leaves the house. Little Miss Whoops really is the most accidental person in the world. Well, not quite. Little Miss Whoops has a brother, Mr. Bump. He is just like his sister, if not worse. But that is another story, which maybe we'll read that later. Each year, Little Miss Whoops travels by train to visit her brother for a week. She set off last Tuesday. This Tuesday, Mr. Bump looked at his clock, which was lying on the ground where he had just knocked it over. His sister was late. She was a whole week late. And why was Little Miss Whoops late? A whole chapter of accidents, of course. While her train was waiting in a station, she somehow or other tripped and fell out of the train. Whoops! And then somehow or other tripped and fell into the back of a truck which took her to Seatown. Whoops! Where somehow or other she tripped and fell into a boat which took her to another country. What do you think she said? Whoops! She had to wait nearly a week to get another boat back. And another truck. And another train. Little Miss Whoops was exhausted by the time she finally reached her brother's house. I thought you were coming last week, said Mr. Bump. It must have been a long trip. It was, said Little Miss Whoops. Would you like a cup of tea, offered Mr. Bump. And you know what that involved, don't you? They spilled the milk, tipped over the sugar bowl, dropped the tea bags, broke the biscuit, and knocked the tea all over the table. What a mess. Whoops. Oh, look at the time, cried Little Miss Whoops, knocking over the clock. I've got to go if I'm going to catch my train home. She grabbed her suitcase and rushed out of the door. Goodbye, she called. Goodbye, called back Mr. Bump. See you next year. Mr. Bump waved from the doorway until she had rounded the corner. Then he closed the door, but as he did, the door handle came off in his hand. What do you think he said? Whoops, said Mr. Bump. There's so many of these. Maybe I'll find some more to read to you very, very soon. I hope you have the best weekend. And guess what? Look on Facebook and I'll send it on email too. We're going to have a spirit week next week. Crazy sock day, crazy hair day. We can post pictures and enjoy each other that way. Okay, love you guys so much. Happy Friday.